Hello, Team Fortress 2 community. My name is Mr. New, and I'm here to just talk to you all a little bit about the recent updates in the game and what my real thoughts are about them. Now, some of you may know me from TF Radio, some of you may know me from elsewhere. Doesn't matter. What you're about to see on the screen is completely unrelated to what I'm talking about. It's just some gameplay I had earlier today with a friend. Looks like we're about to play some Bad Water. Anyway. What I want to really get at the meat of, I guess we could say, I don't know, I'm not very good at describing things because English is my second language. But either way, what I wanted to talk about was the most recent update, which was Tough Break, and what it really means for Team Fortress 2, or at least what I speculate it means for Team Fortress 2. Now, a lot of you guys are saying it's good, it's bad. I don't really care about that. Honestly, whether it's a good update or bad update, doesn't matter. If you guys enjoy it, that's great. If you guys hate it, that's also great. You can enjoy or hate an update however much you want. That's of no concern to me. What Tough Break really means for me is a little more concerning than whether or not it's fun or it's fair or whatever. I know there were recent changes to the Phlogistinator not everyone agrees with. There were changes to other weapons that people think might have balanced it out for comp. Doesn't really matter. The real issue here is the way Valve is, the way Valve is honestly really treating the game. Now, in terms of monetarily, Team Fortress 2, as we all know, has always been a huge, huge deal. The economy in Team Fortress 2 makes Valve hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars every single day, in all honesty. What with Steam Market purchases, with people selling and buying things, with purchases of keys, Tour of Duty tickets, you name it, Team Fortress 2 has been generating Valve in just an incredible amount of money, considering that the game is free to play in the first place. And while it's free to play, and while it's really fun to play Team Fortress 2, there have been some issues lately. And here's where it all started. It all started in the Gunmetal update a while back last year. If you all remember it, a lot of people were calling it TF Go. And now, whether or not you agree with that label, it was kind of the beginning of something that Valve was doing in which they were monetizing a free game. And I'll get into that a little bit more as this video progresses, but bear with me here. So it starts in Gunmetal. And what happened in Gunmetal was that they added skinned weapons, and it was an update where they really didn't add any new content per se, but they added something called contracts and, of course, the skinned weapons. Now, yes, that's new content, but I mean, it wasn't anything that had to be reprogrammed really or anything. Of course, it had its glitches, but in general, the new quote-unquote content was... It was stuff that was already in the game. All they really had to do was add the skins and whatnot. And you can agree with that or not. But Gunmetal in general, Gunmetal is the beginning of what made it okay for Valve to begin charging money for something that's supposed to be free, like this game. Now, oh geez, I'm missing all the shots there. Doesn't matter. What I'm getting at is simply the fact that prior to Gunmetal, no update had ever made players pay money for content that was supposed to be completely free. And you can argue against that, sure. We could say, oh, but MVM, you had to pay for tickets to participate in MVM. Well, that's the thing though. You didn't have to pay for anything to participate in MVM, because when MVM came along, there was a boot camp system which allowed you to experience the new content that MVM provided without having to pay. Of course, you didn't get loot, but I mean, that's fair because you didn't pay for the game, and loot, which could make you a lot of money, actually cost money, which was just an incentive to buy more tickets. But without tickets, you could still experience the new content of the game and play it how to your heart's content, play it as much as you wanted. No new gameplay was added to the game in the Man Up update. No new gameplay at all. However, in Gunmetal, I'm gonna make this argument, and you can agree with me or not. If you don't, go ahead and leave your opinions in the comments. I'd love to hear them. But here's what I think. Okay, I think that Gunmetal added new content because I think that contracts and completing contracts uh, was something new in the game. It was a new style of gameplay. It was completely new, and while it didn't change any game mechanics per se, such as MVM did, where you actually had a new game mode implemented. Contracts actually did change the way the game played, in that you had objectives to complete, and you were rewarded for those objectives, and people were more driven to do the things in those objectives. And because of that, Gunmetal actually was, in fact, new gaming content that cost money. Because you had to pay for those contracts. You couldn't just do contracts for free and just not get loot. No. You had to pay to even experience the new content in the game. And because so many people overwhelmingly bought the passes for Gunmetal, that was essentially an okay for Valve to begin to charge for new content. New content such as contracts, at least at that point. Now, when Gunmetal happened, I was extremely worried because I'm like, well, if Valve sees that it's okay to charge for new content, then what the hell? Like, they're gonna keep releasing updates that charge for new content, and similar to CS:GO, what we're gonna see in Team Fortress 2 is that now, in order to experience certain parts of the game, to experience new content, to get contracts, stuff like that, we're actually gonna have to pay for it. It won't be free anymore. And the whole point of Team Fortress 2, at least after the free update, in which it was free to play forevermore, was simply that it was free. It's a free game, and anyone is allowed to play it. Now, Valve gets so much money, not just from Team Fortress 2, but from Steam in general. And they saw the plan was working in CS:GO, and so they tried a little piece of the CS:GO plan in Team Fortress 2. In CS:GO, they don't have new weapons. They really don't release new weapons, like, ever. Maybe once in a blue moon, but new weapons don't happen in CS:GO. What happens there is that with new updates, all you get is skinned weapons. And people pay for it, because people want the new skins. And it doesn't take the programmers at Valve to actually do a lot of work in order for that to be an effective strategy to make money. All they have to do is reskin the weapons a few times and release them in new crates, and people will frolic to them and buy them, and buy keys and passes and, whatever it takes to get the new weapons. And frankly, that sucks. That is a load of bullshit, and it's a great model. It's an incredible business model. Hell, I studied at a business college for a very long time, and I grew to understand just how great that business model was. Honestly, having a free game where you have to buy installments of the game is one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest business schemes out there, really, because it really almost costs virtually no money for the developers, and it allows them to keep generating income without doing much. Now, here's the deal. So post Gunmetal, Gunmetal's a success. Valve sees it's okay, and I was worried that there would be a lot of updates, like Gunmetal. I thought I was proven wrong for a while. After the Halloween update, where they released all that new content, free contracts, oh my god, it was a dream come true. I wished that every update from then on would be like that, because Valve went to the trouble of putting in so much content, so much new content during the Halloween update that was completely free to all the players, that I felt like it was a victory for anyone who enjoys Team Fortress 2. And it all got crushed. Because come around Christmas and Smithmas is supposed to come up, and Team Fortress 2 is going to have its big Christmas update, and everyone's going to participate. It's supposed to be completely free, new festives, new Christmas cosmetics. Oh my god, I was so excited. And what they ended up giving us was a pile of shit. I mean, no offense to anyone who really loves Tough Break. I mean, yeah, it's still the game. Yes, there are some balances. I understand that, and I enjoy that too. Some of it. I mean, I wasn't that psyched about the engineer debuffs, I guess, or nerfs, in which they changed the Jag a considerable bit, and they changed the way sentries interact with sappers a bit too. I wasn't happy about that, but the whole idea of new weapons, new balance changes, I'm fine with that. I understand that they're balancing the game. I understand that they're getting ready for competitive matchmaking in their game. And, that system may or may not be good. I'm not going to pass judgment on something that doesn't exist. That makes no sense. But when it comes down to it, there was something fundamentally wrong about Tough Break that I just will never be behind, and that is adding new content to a game that players to a free game that players can experience for free. They added yet another contract, yet another it's another update where they add new content to the game, because Tough Break is completely new, and there's new passes and there's a new contract, and they charged for it. It's not okay to release new gameplay and charge for it. There were new objectives on those contracts. There were new ways to play the game on those contracts that people who didn't pay for them weren't able to access. And you know what? I'm not just some butthurt free-to-play saying this either. I have been paid to play from the very beginning. I actually paid for Team Fortress 2 back when it was first up, back when it cost money. I paid for it. I was never free to play. But, I mean, nowadays it's difficult for me to understand why it is they say, this company is saying, hey, free to play forever from now on, and then they take their word back. It doesn't make sense to me, and I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right for a company to advertise that their game is free to play and then to charge for updates or for new content. It doesn't make sense to me as a player, as someone who loves this game. I don't think that should be something that's in effect. Now, granted, you're gonna tell me, and I'm sure I am going to get some of these counter arguments where it's like, oh, you just don't like it because it's another gunmetal. Well, yeah, I don't like it because it's another gunmetal, but that's not the only thing that was fucked up about Tough Break. I'll tell you exactly what was wrong with it that I'm sure a lot of people can agree with. That was our Smithmas update. And, I mean, yeah, they gave us the stocking stuffer, big whoop, but something else that they gave us was, they made it so that we had to pay to experience the Smithmas update. I mean, look, in the past, I understand that the festive weapons and the festive cosmetics inside of crates weren't free. You had to pay to get a key in order to access the festive weapons or the festive cosmetics. That makes sense. Okay, I get it. It wasn't free. Oh. But now, you don't even get nice or naughty crates at all as a free-to-play. You had to pay to access the contracts, which were new content, by the way, just to access the crates for a chance to get one of their new festivizers. Now get this, before if you wanted a festive weapon,
All you had to do was open one of the naughty crates, and you'd have a festive weapon. That's all it took. Sometimes even a strange festive weapon. This year, they didn't even release new festive weapons. All of the festive weapons were just reskins. Now, it hurts, folks. It hurts to see that Valve really didn't even try this year. I mean, we can argue that they tried, but frankly, any way you look at it, they didn't release new festives. They just released, well, reskins of the reskins. And yes, you can make an argument that festive weapons are reskins, but we've already had reskins of the stock weapons. In fact, okay, let's look at it this way. The Medigun, the stock Medigun, something that's been in the game for so long now. The first time they released it, it was stock Medigun. And then they released, later on, in one of the Christmas updates, the first one to be exact, the festive Medigun. They released it. That was a Medigun reskin. Okay? They released it. We had a festive Medigun. Later on in Gunmetal, they released the skinned Mediguns. And then they released Festivizers, which give us what? Another festive Medigun. It's just a skinned Medigun that's been festivized. Now, look, prior to Gunmetal happening at all, me and my friends, we used to joke about, oh, Valve is going to make, unusual versions of everything, or they're going to make festive versions of everything. They're going to release festivizers to make things festive. And we would joke about that shit. It was a joke. We didn't want that in the game. And even if we kind of did want that in the game, even if it was in the back of our minds, we never once even thought... we didn't think it would be like this. And by we, I mean, the friends I used to talk to back when I played Team Fortress 2 a long time ago. Back when Team Fortress 2 was still new to me and still exciting. Well, I mean, of course it's still exciting. I never get sick of this game. I play this game every day of my life. But here's the deal. Festive weapons are new every year. Just last year... I don't mean 2015, I mean 2014, I was anticipating the new festives. And you know what? I didn't like them that much. I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't like the new festives last year. I thought they were kind of bad. What was it? The festive charge and charge, a festive buff banner. They were weird. I didn't like them that much. But you know what? They were new festive weapons. I mean, this time they're just more stock reskins. They're not festive. They're not, well, they are festive, but they're not new. They hardly matter at all. It was disappointing. I've been ranting about this for a while now, and I don't know if any of you agree with me, but I think if Valve is going to release a Smithsmith update, and they're going to release it on a free game where it's always been free to at least have the chance to get your very own festive weapon, your very own festive cosmetic, they would give out nice and naughty crates for free. That was free, folks. And now, this year, we didn't even have that. This year, you had to pay to get a pass, to get the opportunity to get a crate, so that you would get the opportunity to get a festivizer, so that you would then be able to have a festive weapon. And you know what? I get that system monetarily. I get it. I get that it works in terms of money. I get that that just makes more sense so that the market doesn't get overly saturated with festive weapons of reskins, and so the reskinned festive weapons are actually worth something. But in terms of where the soul of the game is, in terms of what it actually meant to actually be a free-to-play game, to actually be able to enjoy this game and play it for free, that definition is changing. Team Fortress 2 is changing. And usually, that's not a bad thing. Change isn't bad. All of the different balances to the weapons, to the classes, all of that, that's not bad or good. That's just different. And it's fine to be different. But this change, where we're going from a free model, but we're charging money in order so that Valve can make money off of free-to-play people, or previously free-to-play people, that's not okay. That is a bad change. That is an economic model that calls for greed, and that is not okay. I'm going to support Team Fortress 2 until the day this game dies. But, I mean, of all the old supporters, I don't know how many of us are left, honestly. Of the original players, there are very few. And part of the reason is just that, honestly, Valve is starting to charge money for things that they shouldn't charge money for. They shouldn't charge money for a free game. And I don't know. I don't know when they're going to realize this isn't okay. I don't know when they're going to realize that the dwindling population on TF2 is increasing. The population of people leaving is going up way faster than the population of people staying or like just joining due to all of these updates. And I don't know when they're going to realize this. If they want to have a community-made game, fine. If they want to charge money for the community content so the creators can have some money for what they've made in the game, fine as well. I'm perfectly fine with that. I would love for people to make new content for Team Fortress 2 and to get money because they're making new content for Team Fortress 2. But the problem isn't that. The problem is that there shouldn't be new gameplay that makes it so that you have to pay, because we paid well, we didn't pay, and that's the whole point. Is that this game is free to play and it should remain free to play. Anyway, there's my rant for today, folks. For anyone who enjoyed, anyone who agrees or disagrees, please leave a like and make sure to subscribe. I'll be around. I'm going to talk about a lot of things about Team Fortress 2. Yeah, thanks for everyone's support. Thank you all for watching. And I'll see you in the next video.